David's not ready.
Hey, I'm ready. Okay.
All right, welcome to Tolkien on Tap.
Bloody
I'm
House of
TJ.
Fingolfin always late to the party.
Yeah, welcome to Tolkien on Tap. I'm TJ. Today we are going to be talking random thoughts with the Noldo Squad, and I have two of my good friends with me, Lee and David. Lee, why don't you say
Hi.
hi? Oh, you did
Hello.
it.
I already did it. I'm way ahead of you, TJ.
You are. Um, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Lee. This is kind of the maiden voyage, and thank you both for being here,
Right.
by the way.
Oh, don't burn the ships if this is the main point.
We'll get to
Where's my lighter?
we
Where's
might
my lighter?
we might get to the kin slang later.
I am Lee, aka Silmarillion. Um, I like elves. Um,
Is there a certain supremacy that you support when it comes to elves?
I don't, I don't really support Fëanorian supremacy. I just say that for lols.
Oh, okay.
I am if I am House of Fëanor over all of them. There's not that doesn't mean I agree with everything they did. Just want to, clarify that very early on.
Nice.
Definitely do not agree or defend a lot of the shit they did.
And what are you drinking on tonight, Lee?
I'm drinking. It is brandy and butterscotch cream liqueur.
Ooh, very nice.
It's
Yeah.
good.
David, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. Just I managed to start work at like 5 today, so I got off early.
Oh,
Just
wow.
yeah.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about yourself, David.
I am David the Noldo, Chief Elwes and Diculo hater, and Chief Arcano Finway Nola Finway Stan.
By the way, for those who do not know David, he will do his best. He doesn't even have to try. He's going to speak in Quenya anytime he's talking about any of the names that he either knows the Quenya of or that he himself has translated into Quenya. And what are you sipping on, by the way, David?
I am sipping on the finest Noldo or gnomish beer.
Very nice.
Houblon Le Chouf? Houblon? Or Houblon Chouf. Straight from
Awesome.
Belgium.
Nice.
In my Burger King Lord of the Rings Aragorn Strider mug.
That's old school.
Wow.
I wish I
Damn.
still had mine. That's so cool that you have that. I am sipping on this bag end Lord of the Rings wine from Manos Wine. Uh,
Nice.
I believe it's a Cabernet Sauvignon, not Blanc. Yes, it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's made in California. So let's get drunk and talk about some Noldor stuff. So you don't really stand the Feanorians. You just say that, like you just put that on your, because it's on your threads. I didn't look at your
I, d-
blue,
I do
on your blue
I
sky.
do have Fëanorian supremacy on there, but that is mostly for lols. It's like I find them the most interesting family. So from that point of view, they're my favorite. And obviously, two of them I do genuinely love and will defend to the death. Um, but I also readily admit that they made a lot of bad decisions and did a lot of bad shit. Um, and some of the Feanorians more than others, but I just find them the most interesting, and that's why they're my favorite,
Can
mostly.
you rank them all? I mean, I personally know what your at least your top two are, but what's your full ranking of all the
Oh,
Feanorians?
okay. Does this include Fëanor and Celebrimbor?
Of course it does.
Okay. Maedhros, Celebrimbor, Maglor, Fëanor, Ambarossa. Then it gets tough. It's just all three C's is like the same.
Do you
I
consider
don't, I don't.
do you consider Nodinel one of the Feanorians or
Oh
nah?
shit, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Where would Nerdonel go? Should we go above Feyenoord?
Okay. And why do you like Maedhros so much?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's the best. He never did anything wrong in his
You
whole life.
never definitely didn't do anything in the Kinslaying
No, never,
whatsoever.
never. He's
Either
perfect.
of
He's
them.
flawless.
All he did was follow his dad, who had some bad ideas because he loved his
Mm.
dad, regardless of how bad
No,
his dad was, and he adopted some children.
he he did bad shit, but he knew he did bad shit and he hated that he was doing bad shit.
Mhm.
Um, And of them all, I think he's the one who made the most effort to make something positive come out of it. Like, it was him who took the initiative. It was him who gave up his right to the throne to heal the rift amongst the Noldor. And obviously, some of his brothers were really not happy about that. But he knew it had to be done because having that schism amongst the Noldor was only going to be good for Morgoth. And then it's like he put himself on the front line where Himbring is. When you look at it on the map, it's literally like the first point between Angband and the rest of Beleriand is to come down through that gap where Himring is. He purposely put himself there as the first line of defense between Morgoth and Beleriand. The rest, he's protecting the rest of Beleriand, and he never stopped doing that the whole time. And it was like, who made the effort to make the effort against Morgoth the union of Maedhros? It was him. And like, Fingolfin died and the High Kingship passed to Fingon, but it's not Fingon who's doing anything, it's Maedhros. And I'm sure Fingon was probably fine with that because, it's Fingon and Maedhros. But it's him who's getting everyone together, who's making the effort to try and get all these people working together, all these people on good terms, and to make a concerted effort to go at Morgoth. It's him who is the driving force behind everything. And considering the obstacles he has to deal with, not least his own fucking brothers, I'd love to have been a fly on that wall when he spoke to them after their little escapades in Norgothrond.
Yeah.
But yeah, dealing with that, dealing with Thingol as well, who probably wouldn't have joined anyway, let's be honest. But, it didn't help. Dealing with everything that he had to deal with, as well as his own pain and suffering because of what he endured. But he still kept trying to do the best, and he was tormented by that oath. Like, it literally says that they were tormented by it. And he desperately searched for Elured and Elurine in Doriath, and he killed him that he couldn't find them. And yeah, he didn't want to do any of that, but the oath is the oath, and it cannot be denied.
Yeah. Were you drawn to sorry, David, I'm gonna switch back and forth between Sindarin and Quenya.
No, you're fine.
Just, I know that normally I try to switch to Quenya, but we're having some drinks, so I may forget. But was Nelia Finway, my Timo, your favorite from the onset when you read the Silmarillion?
Yeah.
Oh, right away.
He really
Nice.
was. Yeah, and I don't even know that I could pinpoint why. I remember being 13 years old and knowing that I loved him, but I wouldn't have been able to put it into words then. And I think I've told you guys this before, but earlier this year, my friend found some old forum posts from 2004 that I wrote, little baby 13-year-old me wrote. And in those, it's me talking about how much I love Maedhros. So it's like, because I feel like some people don't believe me when I say it's genuinely been that long, that it's been, well, over 20 years now. And then I have like, fuck, it literally is. Like, there it is, little baby 13-year-old me. Um, and it's quite funny because in one of the posts, it's like, I'd forgotten what happened to him somehow. And I was like, oh, I love Maedhros. It's like, oh, I'm reading it again, but I need to know what happened to him. I look it up. And then there was another post, me just being like absolute horror because I just looked it up and reminded myself what happened to him.
Oh no.
But yes,
I'm a little tempted to ask you to read one of those posts, but I won't put you on the spot. So let's pour one out
I will.
For my Timo, Nelly Finway, Maedhros,
Rossendal.
Rosendal.
David.
Is there an Elvish word for cheers, by the way? I know I usually do the Tharamir's toast.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. And let me look it up.
David, while he's doing that, tell me about your boy. Tell the world about your boy. Tell the world about your love of Finway Nola Finway.
I mean, what's there to say about Arcana Finway Nola Finway, the God Wounder, the Cold Star? the giver of the 7 wounds, the heel cleaver, the shining star that darts like lightning.
I don't know.
Leader,
Let's hear it in your own
the
words, Dave.
leader of the greater host over the Helcaraxe.
Got given the kingship by his nephew Maedhros,
high king of the Noldor, who is his brother's keepers.
Because of Maedhros.
Yeah, because of Mighty.
Because
he knew it was the right thing. Though I want to say this because when Lee was talking about Mighty Mo, Mighty Mo was the only one who was not in the wrong for the burning of the ships, and he still did all that. So yes, salute to him as a true king.
Yeah.
I will say that.
According to just sorry to interrupt a sec. According to Path of Ellen, it's Almian, which is a neologism reconstruction, but is Almian is elven cheers, apparently.
For those of you who don't know,
literally means to good fortune.
When me, Lee, and David do lives, and when Lee was doing lives before me and David started on the TikToks, someone asks a question, and if we don't know, we will grab our books and we will stare at it until we find the answer. There's been times where
it's quite often it's just complete silence as all three of us are just looking.
I remember when you did it before I started doing my own lives, and then when the three of us were in a live and we all three did that at the same time, it was because I think it lasted like 15-20 minutes.
So everyone's like,
nobody left.
Everyone's just like, what's going on?
Look at our books.
Which I do have my books on hand, so I always make sure.
Listen, mine are directly to my right, so I'm ready to. Oh, by the way, Lee, I meant to tell you. So someone asked me yesterday my top 10 elves, and I put Mighty Mo in there because before I was a staunchly like none of the Fëanorians whatsoever, and through speaking with you and hearing a different side of things, because I was just like the oath, they're all terrible people no matter what, but through talking to you I have changed my mind. He's in my top 10.
Yay.
Yes.
See, it's very gratifying when I hear that, because the exact same thing happened with New Better, that I changed his mind on Anelio as well, and Anelio became one of his favorites. So it's like, yes, my boy getting the appreciation he deserves.
Yeah, and David Fingolfin's always been in my top 10. I mean, how can you go up against Morgoth? Oh, sorry, Morgoth, and like whether you live or die, like not be in a top 10. Also, Fëanor,
him being absent from my top 10.
What? Being a what?
Say it again, Lee.
I said he not him being absent from my top 10. But to be fair, Fëanor wasn't in there either. So
I wasn't going to call you out because I was like, I know that he's definitely not in one of our.
No, I do love Fingolfin. I just,
we get it. You like this one.
That's what they're like, though. Okay, I'm going to be honest. It's like the Fingolfin fanboys are like that, and it's that thing where it's not fair on him. But the way those fanboys act about him in turn makes me dislike him more. And I don't mean you, David, we're cool, but they are really genuinely like that.
And I was going to say, like, one of my favorite things, this is kind of going to shift slightly. One of my favorite things that Lee actually pointed me to is, so when the Rings of Power came out, it was, I think it's episode 4, where Adar says El entile lumeno mentielvo, and he did it with the thorn, the lispy sound, and I had not read that yet, but I saw Lee's TikTok and she was flipping the absolute fuck out about it. Like, no joke, like a child who had just met Santa, like the real life Santa for the first time. Well, not that you're gonna meet him again.
Very excited.
But so I was like, all right, I gotta check this out. So like I figured out where it was. I had those books. I had been too lazy to read it. Sorry. And I read it and I was like, this is awesome. But in there, and the three of us have talked about this before, it's just so fun to talk about. I want to talk about it again. Let's talk about the naming conventions of the elves and Finwë, and specifically, since we're talking about the Ñoldor, and we call ourselves the Ñoldor Squad. I'm so bad with the pluralization. We call ourselves the Ñoldor Squad, which, by the way, Finrod Felagund, Finderato Ingoldo Felagund, my beloved, is my favorite. Currently, I'm wearing the necklace.
Is he TJ? Why'd you keep that quiet?
Heraldry. Yeah, no, I don't know if you saw behind me the heraldry.
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh, I thought that was like a Guinness harp.
Listen. Not everybody knows.
There he is.
There he is. Not everybody knows what we know. So sometimes I just want to let people in on what we're talking about. So Finwë, and really it's supposed to be all the elves. It's like a naming convention of all the elves, but Tolkien really only talks about Finwë. Hey Lee, what's Fëanor's father name? When he was first born.
Finwë.
David, what was Fingolfin's I'm sorry, no, the Finwë's name when he was born? What name was he given?
I mean, father or mother name?
Father name, I'm sorry.
Nola Finwë.
No. What name was he given at birth? Because
Finwë.
Yeah. Our Finwë, Fëanor, also the third and final son of Indis and Finwë, was also named Lee. What was his name?
Was it Finwë?
That was Finwë. So Fëanor has 7 sons. What was Maedhros' name at birth from Fëanor?
It was Finwë.
Okay. What about Maedhros?
Oh, so was Finwë as well.
Okay. What about just can you give me all of their names, all of their father names at birth, please? So let's start from the first one. Finwë. Okay.
Finwë.
Fourth one.
Finwë.
Sixth one.
Finwë, and oh shit, what is it? Finwë.
Finwë. That is the most confusing thing in the world, and I think it's hilarious. And it's
like they get the name Finwë, and then when they like show what kind of person they are, they get their like graphics.
Yeah, and I like that it even like goes to like the daughters to an extent. At least it went to what's one of Finwë's daughters' names?
Findis.
Yeah. What's her mom's name? Indis. Oh, that's right. So
yeah.
So we're just gonna make a portmanteau.
That fucking cracks me up.
Tolkien. I love Tolkien, but that one is so silly.
All these names that have these cool meanings, and then they've literally gone smush their names together. It's like that thing in the media, when there's a celebrity couple and they'll make a portmanteau of their names.
Bennifer.
It's like that. It's like they did that and then named it their child. Yeah. It's as if Brad and Angelina had a kid called Brangelina.
Is that the first instance of like a celebrity couple portmanteau? Yeah. I mean, Finwë is kind of a celebrity in the Silmarillion.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, dude's got like let's hold on. He's got Finwë named after him. Finwë's named after him. Finwë's named after him. Findis is named after him. The 7 Finwës, which by the way sounds like it's almost like the 3 tenors. The 7 Finwës.
The 7 Finwës.
And it makes, and I guess Macalaure.
You could even make an argument about Finderato and Findecano as well.
You know what? I forgot about that, but they were not named Finwë at birth. They were just given the Finn.
But
actually, we don't know, because technically, don't they have their Meliace? Isn't that their Meliace? The Findecano, Finderato.
Are we gonna do the thing where we grab our book for a little bit, and I'm gonna have to edit this out because we're all looking at our books?
Or are those the father names? I might be mixing it up.
No, because Finderato.
I think they're the father names, and Ingoldo is the mother name.
His mother name.
Because
given, but Eowyn gave Finderato his middle name based on his father. So he's named after his grandfather and his father, but his mother name is technically comes from his father.
Yeah. So Indis gave Ara Finwë the mother name Ingoldo, and then Eowyn gave that same name to their firstborn son. Right. And Anaire did the same. No, she didn't. She did it with their 4th son, which was Aragorn. Gave him Nora Finwë's mother name.
Right.
I know we don't get a mother name,
which Ñoldor is also was originally one of Finwë Nola Finwë's names.
Yeah, at one point, because it just means like.
Oh yeah.
one eminent in the kindred, which is like a fancy way of
the wise
of saying
wait a minute. Ingoldo is so this I don't necessarily know a lot of the names and what they mean.
Yeah, it's
so
the
Ingoldo,
way Tolkien describes it is meaning one eminent amongst the kindred. It basically essentially means a Noldo. But that's how that's how he says it. It's like, one like the Noldo, an eminent Noldo kind of.
Hold on, I liked what David was saying. Hold on, I like the way David said it better, Lee, because I have a. Just please say it again, David.
What? The Noldo.
No. You were saying something else.
Ignoldo?
No, you said something about wise. I think you know where I'm going. I think you know where I'm going with this.
About wait, which one?
You said something about wise.
About Ingoldo meaning wise.
Yeah, and which characters got that name? There's only 3, right? There's only 3. Right?
I mean, originally there was Finwë, Nola Finwë.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Finwë.
Right.
But then there's
whom else?
What's his name? It's like something about a badger.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Finderato Felagoon. But
hold on. It does say in the text, and I know. Listen. I already know where you're going with this, but I'm still going to say it. He is the wisest of all the Eldar. Now go ahead.
According to who, though, TJ?
As I say, when it's stated that Fëanor is the greatest of all the elves,
not wisest.
Who wrote the texts? Because I don't know. In my opinion, going toe to toe with a literal god that's the devil, and wounding him not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, not 7 times. Do you
genuinely not think that there were other of the Noldor who could have done that, though?
I was just going to say, to be fair.
But did they do it?
No, hold on. Listen,
did they do it?
I'm not a fan or apologist.
Did they do it?
Listen, David, hold on. I'm not a Fëanor apologist. But
no, because they die in the attempt.
Fëanor was never given the opportunity to get to Morgoth because he sent Balrogs. He sent 7 Balrogs.
Okay. But were there not Valaraukar?
That's what I'm
in waiting in Angamando.
No.
When Nola Finwë, when
and
Finwë
Nola Finwë came,
and when Finwë and Nola Finwë showed up, none of the Valaraukar went to challenge him. None of the orcs went to challenge him.
Morgoth thought like, oh, you know what? This guy's weaker than Fëanor, so I'm gonna go take him. You know what?
Okay.
Because David, think about it.
None of them.
Fëanor. No, listen. Morgoth didn't even want to fight Fëanor. He sent his Balrogs to do it. When Nola Finwë shows up, he's like, I got this. And Morgoth came.
I don't think it was quite that.
No.
It was more like if he didn't accept it, he was gonna lose face.
Yes. Because the text is clear on that. Because Morgoth was scared shitless because he didn't want to. He didn't want to lose face to the orcs. But even the Valaraukar did not come out to the gate to meet his challenge.
To be fair,
there's a great meme.
To be fair, I am giving
where
you
it's like Fingolfin doing that, and then it's like that picture of the kid, and he's like looking at the guy next to him, and he's like, "I think he wants to fight you, Gothmog."
To be fair, David, I'm giving you shit.
I know, and I am.
But also, Fëanor never got the chance to fight Morgoth.
Yeah, because the Valaraukar weren't afraid of him.
Probably because Morgoth.
All right, but say Ecthelion had been in that same position, for example. I think Ecthelion could have done the same damage, but the ending would have been the same. He'd have died.
Yeah, I agree.
Like whoever was going to go up against Morgoth was going to die.
I'm on glass 3, by the way.
What is it?
I'm on glass 3, by the way.
Oh god,
glass already.
David, this is Tolkien on tap. This is meant to like, hey, let's get drunk and talk about Tolkien and see like how ridiculous we get. This is just 20%, to have fun.
So I'm just sipping.
Just sip. Oh no, I got you. I haven't eaten since noon.
Oh god, man.
Well, not since noon. Well, I guess it is. For me, it's almost 6 hours later. So, everyone be sure to have some water and eat before you drink. Don't be like me.
Bottle.
Don't be like us kids. I've only had a butty all day. So.
No, all these beers are also like 8% or higher. The first one was 9.
Nice.
What a good example, yeah.
Hey, we're elves. We have stronger.
We have high constitutions.
Oh God, not like that Gimli and Legolas drinking scene. Ugh.
Also, this is a crappy pour. Can you like do some AI to edit out?
I got you, man. I got you. David, by the way, I'm wearing my Finderato like I showed heraldry. Did you get one of these? I saw you talking about them. I don't know if you.
I need to get the necklace. I plan to get the necklace sometime soon. I do have the pen.
Excuse me. I'm wearing both. I have a problem.
I do have the enamel pin by that same seller, which I bought.
You mean like this? You mean this one? Hold on.
Yep.
For those of you who are not watching on YouTube, sorry, I'm holding up the enamel pin of Finderato, Ingoldo, Felagund, my beloved, the wisest of all the Eldar. Stop it, David.
They're such good quality. Like the one I got was supposed to be B grade and it was cheaper, but I've studied it. I can't see any flaws in it. I was there like, why were you B grade? What's wrong with you? And there's literally nothing that
I don't know what grade I got. I just was like, I want that. That's Finrod stuff. I want that.
I have the enamel pin. Oh, sorry, my bad.
I was just gonna say, I know Bree Bird has got the Luthien one as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, she does nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is Bree going to Westmoot? By the way, everyone listening or watching, this is an aside. We're just friends talking. Is Bree going to Westmoot?
I don't know. I will ask her.
Are we gonna have the real life feast of reuniting?
Yeah, we are.
I think we need to figure out like a place to like go hang out while we're there, like outside
the Mertier and Narite.
Listen, yes, I'll bone up on my Quenya before I get there, David.
That's the Quenyan version of the Merith Adderthod. The Merith Adderthod. Sorry, clearly it's too much. I can't do my thorns that well.
Wait a minute. Are you sure that's only your second battle?
He's sassing again.
He's sassing.
Serende sells seashells down by the seashore. Okay, there we go.
Serende sells seashells down by the seashore.
Serende sells seashells on the seashore.
Serende sows seashells down by the seashores.
So all right, so we've talked about Mighty Mo. We've talked about
I did want to say one point for the who is the wise one. If we're going with the logic of everyone's named Finwë at their birth, who eventually gets the title of the wise Finwë?
Yeah, but what feats does he have to show that, David?
I don't know. Should I go through them?
What? Where does it show that? I'm messing.
I mean, truthfully, if we want to talk about,
I love how.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lee.
I love how Fëanor gets offended when he gets the name Nolo Finwë because he's like, no, I'm the best at that kind of wisdom as well. I'm the best at all kinds of wisdom. What the fuck?
Let's be honest.
Fëanor, I am Kuru Nolo Finwë.
Let's be honest.
Kuru Nolo, yeah.
Let's be honest. Of the people named Finwë, there's only one who truly was wise, right? And it's Otter Finwë. I mean, like at first he wasn't, and then like Mando shows up and he goes, "Oh shit, I gotta go back." That's pretty wise.
Was that wisdom or was that cowardice?
Yeah, I think it was wisdom.
And that
look at all that befell in Valerian, and tell me that wasn't wisdom. His brother straight up gets murdered. Both of his brothers straight up get murdered.
But
he goes home and he just hangs out with Eowyn.
But he has like the younger brother privilege, where he's like, "Oh, okay, big bros have got this. I'm gonna stay back home. I'm good. Like they can go and do that. I'm staying back. Plus, I get to be king. I get to be High King of Ñoldor."
Yeah, he does. He doesn't even have to do anything to get it.
Yeah,
that's such a good point.
He's like,
I think it would be very much in Nolo Finwë's mind because he is the eldest child of, or the eldest son of Indis and Finwë. That he is the one that Fëanor sees as his rival, whereas Ara Finwë is just like also there. Like, you know, he's got nothing to prove. There. You know, he's not really got much of a stake in this thing.
He also hangs out at Elflandale a lot, so he's not really around all that much.
I just saw like Ara Finwë like out by like the seashore, like eating rocks is kind of what I see.
Eating rocks. What is wrong with you?
He's just like the younger brother who's just like Yeah, he's like
it's
like
kind of what he does. I'm sure it says somewhere that he did spend a lot of his time just living in El Colonde with the Arwen's family. So literally, he was at the seashore eating rocks.
Wait, whoa, not literally he was eating rocks. Come on now.
He was literally eating rocks, TJ. Literally eating rocks.
Listen, so, we're gonna take a quick pause here real quick to let everybody who doesn't know us know that I love Finwë and Finderato so much that Lee and David like to take me down a peg because they're two of the smartest and nicest characters in the entire Legendarium, and the two that they like are stupid and mean.
We're not stupid or mean. What are you talking about? No, Finwë Finwë carries.
It hurt me to say that because I like Finwë and I like Maedhros. So I'm just gonna take this time to officially apologize to both of you.
But so I will say this. Let me just say, Finwë is like the Buster Bluth.
Listen, I apologize to you. Let's not.
Finwë is like the Buster Bluth of the Finwë children.
No, versus not at all.
Fëanor is Job.
Oh my god, Fëanor is absolutely Job.
And then Finwë is most likely Michael. Though
no,
Michael still has
not
his flaws.
not one bit. Finwë is Lindsay.
Are we really all doing this Finwë thing?
Finwë is Michael.
He's the one who's you're not going to start calling him Finwë as well.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. That. You're right.
No, because here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and I don't want to admit this because in Arrested Development, Michael Bluth is also just as flawed as the other characters.
Yeah, and so is Finwë.
But Finwë is definitely the Buster Bluth. He just, neither seen nor heard. That's literally his thing.
He's just also.
Damn it! You're right. Damn it, son of a bitch. I'm crying over here.
He did have the best of it. It's like we're saying, he didn't have to do anything, and he became High King of the Noldor.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah. He gets to sit at home, do his cartography.
Perhaps Finderato is not the wisest of all the Eldar. Perhaps it's Finwë.
Maybe that's why he went back home to be with Mother Boy. His Mother Boy contestant.
Stop calling him Mother. Stop calling him Buster Bluth. He's not. Listen, he has. If anybody is Mother Boy, it's Maedhros. They're both missing a hand. If we're going down that road,
that was a low blow.
You literally just pivoted. You literally just pivoted to. I
was all about the projections.
Ragging on TJ's favorite to then ragging on.
Well, Finwë is like probably in my top 5. Yes, I'm sorry, he's above Maedhros and Nola Finwë. But
the only time that'll ever happen.
Oh, good God. Let's talk about the
badger.
Great segue.
Did you see on my what is the name of the app on my Instagram where you can like put your quote or whatever? My face is
yes, it just said badger.
Yeah, I took.
I noticed that. I did laugh at that.
Oh, good God! The fact that
I love that. The way I laughed when I read that in A Nature of Middle Earth, and it's the fact that all that bit is like in a little note at the bottom as well. It's not like even the main part of the text. And it's like you get some absolute gems in those notes in throughout all the History of Middle Earth books as well. Yeah. There are so many great bits like hidden in the notes, and I was laughing so much when I read that about them.
Why don't you tell the world what you read, just in case ends up being anybody who hasn't.
And just before she gets into that, I do want to add to that because like that is to add to like Lee's previous comments about like Tolkien and his humor. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely hilarious, especially in those last 3 volumes of the History of Middle Earth and the Nature of Middle Earth. Like the level of detail in the world building and like the nuance and all that is so phenomenal. Like with the badger part, and then even like how we were talking about. I think I commented. I forget if it was on Bliss. I forget where it was. My apologies. But like, as far as like, but like whatever platform it was on, where like Lee brought up the badger and it's like, oh yeah, like it's coming from like Sindarin or like is it Kuzdal? And then it's like it's likely came from like the other Fëanorians, like and they probably got it from like the dwarves, or like they told the dwarves that they pass it down all the way down through to like their relationship or business relationship with Lestinorde in like Elwë Sindiculo, and that's how like it comes down. It's like
business relationship.
I could picture Findorazzo, like he meets Thor's like, hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, you're a fellow goon, the Badger. It's like he's like, God damn it! Like, who told you about this?
I don't know. My cousin. I don't know if he'd be like, God damn it, because like he adopted it. Like I think he liked it, or was it one of those like we're taking it back, like one of those like it was an epithet.
Like a reclamation.
Yeah, like it was. I mean, an epithet
to be fair,
begin with, and he goes, no, you know what?
Said it was done. It's mine. It says it was only done like partly in derision. Only partly in derision.
Or is that like, one of those things where Pengaloth changed that for Finderato?
Well, I also think when Curufin and Calagorm go to Norgothrond, and like when Finrod's talking to Beren about it, and he's saying like they've shown me nothing but kindness and respect, they're actually being helpful because they're going out from Norgothrond to hunt Sauron's wolves. And we know what fucking Sauron's wolves are like. Like they're actually being helpful. It's only really that they learn about the quest for the Silmaril, and Findorato, again, he actually explains that this is going to happen to Beren. As soon as those two find out what Beren is there for, that he's on a quest for the Silmaril, the Oath's going to become active. And, you know, then they become SWAT level 5. But so I think I don't think that they necessarily disliked each other as much. Like most of the dislike between them seems to mostly have been Caranthea. Like he's the one who is like hostile to whichever blondie it is.
To everyone. To everyone.
Hold on, let's take a pause. Hey David, what's Caranthea in Quenya?
Carnistea.
Thank you. Oh, I know you know Lee. Okay. I went to David because he's the one who like will not speak in Sindarin.
Oh, okay.
That's Mortifinwë is the father name, as Lee was about to say as well.
Yeah.
Right.
The dark hair
which means dark Finwë, and then Carnistea means red.
Dark Finwë is like the coolest name though. Like he sounds like he should be like the Batman of Middle Earth. Or Valerian.
I mean, it's kind of true.
His mother named him Redface.
This kid,
he inherited the ruddy complexion of his mother.
In his face, not in his hair.
Well, she had it in her face as well, a ruddy complexion, you know, like a sort of pinkish.
Yeah.
But whereas she was like, obviously, she was like had the ginger whole thing going on. So he had really dark hair and then pink face.
We're not gonna. Just by the way, we're not doing any ginger hate. Just so.
No,
we love our ginger.
We love the gingers. By the way,
who am I in love with?
Like for those of you who are listening somewhere that is not YouTube, Lee is pointing directly to Maedhros, Maedhimo, Ñoldor.
I will say this: for all the wrongs Fëanor did, like one of the chief among them was like ostracizing Ne'er-do-Nell. Like, how are you gonna do that? Ne'er-do-Nell's like perfect. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, I know,
man?
but she wasn't without her faults either. And I think
dish.
Okay, so it's one of those
she deserved
things,
better, which is me.
It's one of those things that Christopher Tolkien left out Silmarillion. But it is said when Fëanor was sent into exile to Formenos, Ne'er-do-Nell said she didn't want to go with him. She wanted to stay with Indis. And like,
say that louder for the people in the back.
But was that? I feel like that was prior.
Even if that was like started to be acrimonious situation between them, that was just cruel.
Wait, Lee.
She knew it.
No, I was just gonna say, why don't, just in case anyone who's listening or watching doesn't have context, give some context.
Okay, so
why that's a problem.
For the short version, Indis was Fëanor's mother-in-law, and her marriage to his father is the reason that his mother could never come back to life, is what it boils down. That is the entire reason that he has this hatred of his siblings, of Finwë, Fingolfin, of Indis, is because their very existence is like the living embodiment of the fact that he had his mother taken away from him forever.
And then his wife Wants
and then
to stay
his
back.
wife, who she knows better, probably better than anybody, how he feels about Indis, and she tells him that she doesn't want to go with him. She wants to stay with Indis, and like, she didn't need to do that. If she didn't want to go with him, say no, I'm staying in Tirion, but to specifically tell him I'm staying with Indis, that was just cruel.
It was. I agree.
I
but also
on the other hand, I do
let's take a drink for
I don't know, because I feel like on the other hand too, though, like, to kind of not even play devil's advocate, but just kind of add to the discussion about that, the relationship between them was already growing stale, given how possessive he was with the Cimarrols and him isolating himself from that relationship. That I could also see that as Nerdanel saying, like, hey, like, this is how drastic, like, this relationship has become, that, like, I need you to understand that, like, how possessive you come and obsessed you become with the Cimarrols and all this stuff is leading me to do this. And definitely there's aspects of spite there, I understand, but at the same time, what led to for her to be that spiteful? Like, I don't think that, like,
I think she could have made that message clear without having to bring Indis into it.
But I feel like that's
like the fact that she didn't want to go with him.
I feel like it's possible that she could have before, like, given the fact that she bore 7 kids for this guy. Of all the elves, she bore 7 kids for Fëanor. Yeah. Like, and for her, and to think that they didn't have any type of discussion about their, like, what he was doing is wrong, and, like, him being stubborn and not listening. Like, I could easily see that as her, like, being like, fine, like, okay, I've exhausted my attempts to try and reconcile this. Like, you leave me no choice. I'm going to do the most, like, what you would probably see as the most spiteful thing. I could easily see that. I can easily see that. Oh,
you think she went out of her way to just be an asshole?
I can entertain and see that as one aspect of it. I'm not saying it's definitive. I'm not make it worse. No, I'm not saying definitively, but I'm saying is,
which, by the way,
but put yourself in her perspective, though, in her shoes, as far as, like, she's done all this, like, more than any elf would ever, like, she bore more kids than any elf ever will have to.
Yeah. That was her free decision.
No, and you're absolutely right.
Wait, do they have elf condoms?
But that's the thing. Like, she loved Fëanor that much to bear 7 kids to him, right? So then
that's like saying she did it for him.
Not necessarily for him, because I mean, obviously there's the it's a mutual, agreement that they're going to have that many kids, but at the same time, like, she's going through and knowing all that, and just bearing through Fëanor as he is, and all of his different attitudes and petty aspects she's endured, to get to the point where she chooses to go and live with the person who he dislikes the most. I feel like that leaves room to interpret that as far as, like, the relationship was that strained, that she tried as hard as she could to do it, that, she said, okay, whatever. It is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Like, and with you, if
or does
she
that
went,
speak to Fëanor's character more than
so, and so I guess my point is, if she went to that length to try and salvage that relationship, to then she says, for what leads her to say, forget it, and go and do that, right? Because there's a big gap, because I doubt she immediately said, like, oh, I'm going to go immediately to go and live within this. I feel like that would have taken some time for her to decide that, knowing very deeply how he felt about it.
Yeah.
I don't think that she would just wantonly do that. I feel like there was a couple things that would have it occur and lead to that. Excuse me.
Yeah, that speaks volumes on Fëanor's character as a character, as a person, because not only does his wife do that to him, to, like, if that's the case where she went out of her way to be a jerk to him, right? That's the second person in his life that is not necessarily the closest, but like close to him, who fucks with him because Galadriel with the hair.
Yeah.
Like that speaks volumes on Fëanor as a character.
The S thing.
And the S thing, yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like
what S thing?
Yeah. You know what we were doing earlier, the Thathi, don't you just are you trying to get us to like lisp? Is that what's going on? Because yes. I will lisp all day long. That's out of Finway.
Let them did
that. I will
let
lisp
them
all the time.
If they know no better.
Listen, David. I swear to you, if this is how the Noldor of the House of Out Finway talk, this is how I'm going to talk when I'm speaking in the Sindarin. I'm sorry, not the Sindarin, the Quenya tongue. This is exactly what I'll do. I will forever say Ellen Thila and not Ellen Sela.
Right, I need to say something about the Ellen Sela thing, though.
Okay.
While I do love that they put it in for that, Sela would not have ever actually been pronounced as Thila because it only when the root word had it, and Sela comes from a root word, that was always S, so it would always have been Ellen Sela Lumeno Mentielvo. I still like that they put it in.
Ladies and gentlemen, is why I say that Lee is, to me, the Tolkien doctor. I have been calling her the Tolkien doctor forever because I've probably learned the most from these two people, and I've been following Lee for like 5 years.
Also, can I
You're the
just
Tolkien
say,
doctor, by the way.
Bashfully hide behind my Fëanor cushion.
Can I just say also, I will add to that, TJ, because Lee literally, and I will never stop saying this, because this past year of 2024, Lee literally popularized what I've never seen other people ever reference in popular discourse.
You're talking about the Shibboleth?
The Shibboleth of Fëanor. She literally popularized it.
Yeah.
To the point where everybody went and like immediately after that went and read it and like, oh crap, like to the point where like I had to get frustrated because like, what is all this thorny nonsense? What is all this lispy nonsense that's going on in my feed? Like, no, we sibilant here. We
listen.
We will
first of all,
as there is no better.
Yeah. Well, hold on, David. Say it again first, because I was talking over you. Go ahead.
We saw see as we know no better.
So let's raise a glass.
And there is no better.
There is. Let's raise a glass to Lee.
There's not. There is.
There isn't.
There is not.
There isn't. Let's raise a glass to Lee for popularizing the Shibboleth. I need to get a pop screen.
The Shibboleth of Fëanor.
Yeah, he'll say Shibboleth. It's Shibboleth.
That is generally one of the greatest accomplishments of my entire life. I'm so proud.
And then we're gonna raise another glass.
Also, Lee, if they have like an award ceremony at like the Westmoot, I'm nominating you, right? Like,
this is the point of the show.
If they have an award, like I will nominate you for that.
Praises
like,
on each other.
2024, like whatever, like award for like promoting Tolkien and all that. You're getting nominated for that shit.
Thank you.
So soon, probably today, but for people who are watching or listening to this, it will not be today. This will be in the past that this happened. I had to think real quick about like which future. Way. Yeah, but I had to think about which way time was flowing.
Which way does time go?
But so I'm gonna make a video about Nubeta, about how I really want to petition for him to be a dwarf in Ring of the Power Season 3 and moving forward from that. But I also want to start a petition for Lee to be an elf.
Yes.
I really do. Because like the fact that she had to do a lottery to go to the red carpet for War of the Rohirrim, I personally feel is an affront to society. Because like I said, this woman knows so much stuff, is an incredibly sweet human being, is funny as hell, and like loves this shit so much. And like honestly, it's an honor to like even like have you on my pod. Like this is my first podcast I'm ever doing, and you agreed. David is the reason that I started making content outside of like posting on like a fake Twitter, what Threads was or whatever. Which is why I asked both of them to be my first guests. We've become friends, and I love both of these people immensely. But I am gonna make it probably tomorrow because I'm gonna be a little drunk after this podcast. By the way, I might be right now. I'm gonna make a new beta. So I'm gonna make a hashtag called New Beta Dwarf Better. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I have to think up one for Lee. So David, if you have ideas, I will credit the fuck out of you for it. Because I will never steal anybody's intellectual property, whether it's actual, whether it's being monetized or not. If you come up with it, you get credit. You like how I get really close to the microphone when I get really serious? Like I'm trying to do like an ad, like I'm doing the terms and conditions underneath.
Wait, who is this brought to us by?
Oh, that's the other thing. Today at work, I was thinking about like making fake commercials to go between things. I can't remember I can't remember what the idea was earlier, but it was like, all right, now a break for our sponsor, and then it would be something like something that related to
like you could do it like the food stuff. So like a cool, refreshing glass of Miravor.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Or like get yourself some dwarvish crime.
Yes, that would be amazing. That's like honestly, like that's kind of like the dream of like this podcast. Like I don't really care like how far this goes. This is just for fun and everything. And part of that fun I want to have is like just to be as silly as possible. And ideas like that are exactly what I'm talking about, Lee. So if you guys ever have ideas like that, feel free to DM me and let me know your ideas, whether you're on panel, Lee and David, or people who are listening or watching. So, Lee, where can people find you?
I'm Silmarillion on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads. I think that was it. Oh, YouTube as well.
Okay. And David, where can people find you?
You can find me David the Noldo. That's DAVID THENGOLDO. You can find me basically Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, Substack, and possibly sometime in the future YouTube. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, those are all the spaces you can find me at.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here on the maiden voyage. I really appreciate both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Have a good night. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Tolkien on Tap. Thank you for listening. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Tolkien on Tap. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow me on any of my social medias. I'm on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at _Neej. That is _NEEJ. Namarie.